Hi, this is copywriter and consultant Casey Demchak with this week's book marketing copy quick tip video. And this week's tip is tied into a confession I have to make. That confession is I am a very simple guy. I like to keep things simple in my life, keep things simple in my business. And that ties into this week's tip in this way. I have written the book marketing copy for right around 200 books. A few dozen of those books have become Amazon bestsellers. And when I write book marketing copy for an author, I do two simple things. I read the book, number one, and I interview the author, and I ask 5 simple questions. Now, if you're writing your own book marketing copy for your book, I really recommend that you self-interview yourself. That's kind of redundant. I recommend that you interview yourself and ask yourself these 5 simple questions. And I also recommend that don't write the answers to these questions on paper. Instead, open up an audio file on your phone or whatever and speak your answers out loud. Don't worry about being perfect or making a perfect pitch. Just speak from the heart about your own book by answering these 5 questions. Question number 1, who is your target audience? And if you've written a business book, just don't say business people. Describe a specific person in detail, whether you've written a business book, a novel, self-development book, a reference book. Describe this person in detail, the person you're really writing to, and then direct all your marketing copy to that one person, or avatar as we call it. I always write my marketing copy directed towards one person. You're going to sweep in a lot of other people and attract a lot of other people with that copy, but it's so much easier when you're writing to one specific person. Question number 2, what is your book about? Just simply answer that question. Talk about that out loud. Now, you've written the book, so I'm sure you have a strong idea of what your book is about, but just speak out loud. You may have never really done that. Speak from the heart about what your book is about. Question number 3, and this is the most important one for me. What are the big takeaways from your book for the reader? What are the big benefits to the reader? Why should they read your book? What are they going to get out of it? One mistake I notice a lot of authors make when they write their own copy is they tend to write a lot about what their book is about. If it's a novel, they write about the plot. You really want to focus your book marketing copy on the benefits to the reader, the big takeaways for them. So if it's a business book, you may want to talk about the 5 main principles they're going to pull out of the book. If it's a self-development book, maybe you have a philosophy that has 5 guiding principles to it. So you want to write about that as the big takeaways for the reader. If it's a novel, don't just write about what the plot is about. What kind of emotions are you going to stir up in your reader? People read novels really to get their emotions stirred up. If you read a murder mystery, you've probably read several, and you're going to read several more. And there's a reason for that. You like to feel that curiosity. Or if you're reading a romance novel, you want to stir up those emotions. So people read novels to have their emotions stirred up. So write about that when you're answering this particular question. Question number 4, why are you passionate about the material you've written? Why are you passionate about this book you've just written? Talk about that out loud. And again, I recommend giving your answers to these questions in an audio file. And don't worry about saying things perfectly. Just speak from the heart, be authentic, be raw. You can always polish things up later. But talk about why you're so passionate about the material. That's question number 4. The 5th question, the final question, just ask yourself, do I have any final thoughts I want to add? I always ask this to authors when I'm interviewing them after they've answered these first 4 questions. And they'll always give me the same answer almost. I'll say, do you have any final thoughts you want to add? And they'll always go, no, I think I've covered it all. But there is this one last thing, and they'll give me a gem. They'll just give me a nugget, something I can turn into a great headline, something that makes a great section on the sales page for their book. Answer that question to see if you have any final thoughts. Now go through this process. I'm a big believer in the idea that failing to plan is planning to fail. So preparation is a big part of writing really good book marketing copy. So I really recommend you answer these questions in audio file. I think it'll really help you out. So I hope you found this tip helpful this week. If you're on YouTube right now, why don't you go on down and subscribe to my channel? I'd really appreciate that. And then maybe pop on over to caseydemchak.com. You can download my free ebook, 7 must-know copywriting secrets that sell more books. If you're already on caseydemchak.com, scroll on down, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And until next week, again, this is Casey Demchak. Take a lot of action and make things happen.